Today, we're going to tackle a huge question that comes up with any new project.
Launching anything new, whether it's a product, a service, you name it, it often feels like a total leap of faith, right? But what if you could actually design for success right from the get-go? What if there was a proven method to reduce all that uncertainty? Well, let's dive into it.
When you're talking about quality management, you're pretty much on one of two missions. You're either fixing something that's already out there, or you're creating something totally from scratch.
So the Six Sigma framework actually has a specific tool for each of those missions. For improving something that already exists, say, fixing a painfully slow checkout line, you've got DMAIC. That stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. But for building something brand new, like designing a revolutionary mobile app, the playbook is totally different. It's called DMADV, and that's what we're going to focus on today.
So, what is this DMADV framework, really? Honestly, the best way to think about it is as a 5-phase roadmap that takes you from a blank page all the way to a fully realized, high-quality result.
The 5 phases are define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. And, through this entire process, one thing is always at the center of it all, the customer and what they actually need. This isn't just about building something that's cool, it's about building the right thing for the right people.
The first 4 phases, so that's define, measure, analyze, and design, they're all about meticulously building a rock-solid blueprint. This is all the disciplined, upfront work that prevents those really costly mistakes later on down the line.
Everything kicks off with define. Think of this phase like you're pouring the foundation for a huge building. If that foundation isn't perfectly aligned with what the organization and its customers truly need, the whole structure is just going to be unstable. So this phase makes sure everyone is on the same page, building the same thing for the exact same reason.
Okay, next up, we measure. This is where we stop guessing and start turning customer needs into actual hard data. We identify what are called critical to quality factors, or CTQs for short. So, for example, if we're designing a new coffee cup, a CTQ might be something super specific like keeps coffee hot for at least 60 minutes. See, we're moving from a vague idea to a really specific, measurable target.
Then we get to analyze, and this is where creativity really meets discipline. Instead of just grabbing the first good idea and running with it, the team explores and evaluates multiple design alternatives. The whole goal here is to find the best possible path forward, not just an acceptable one. It's about being deliberate, not just fast.
And that winning alternative moves into the design phase. This is where the concept becomes a concrete plan. A super detailed design gets built out, and a lot of the time, a prototype is created. And why do we do that? It's simple. To find all the potential errors and make corrections before it's way too late and way too expensive to fix.
All right, so we've defined our goals, we've measured all the requirements, we've analyzed our options, and we have a detailed design. Now comes the 5th and final phase. This is the moment of truth.
Really, it all boils down to this one simple question. This is the absolute heart of the verify phase. After all that careful planning and prototyping, this is where we find out if our beautiful design can actually survive and, thrive out in the wild. Yeah, in a nutshell, verification is the bridge from theory to practice. It's that final crucial check that our design isn't just good on paper, but that it's actually capable of doing what we built it to do.
So how does this actually happen? Well, it's a pretty rigorous 3-step process. First, you've got pilot and production runs that test the design in real-world conditions to just guarantee quality. Then, the stakeholders, they give their final sign-off, confirming the design is acceptable to everyone. And finally, everything gets documented and handed over, turning this new design into just business as usual. So why is this last step so incredibly powerful? Because look, proper verification doesn't just check a box. It fundamentally changes the odds of success.
And this is why it's so crucial. Verification is the final confirmation that you actually met the customer's needs. It guarantees quality before a full, expensive launch, and it makes sure the new process is built to last. It validates all the hard work that came before it, offering the ultimate proof that you did the design right. The DMAVD method is just this incredible framework that moves you way beyond just hoping for the best. It gives you a structured path to certainty. So the next time you have to create something new, it leaves you with a really critical question to think about. What's your plan to verify?